Hey everyone, it's Alexander Robinson. Welcome to the channel, and this is my review for Ballerina from the world of John Wick, which is directed by Len Wiseman, is a spin-off of the John Wick film series, and takes place between chapters 3 and 4. The movie follows Eve, played by Ana de Armas, who is a ballerina who is soon trained to be an assassin under the Rosca Roma, led by Anjelica Huston's character. And this eventually leads her into taking some contracts that tie into her past, and more specifically, her father's history as an assassin, and this cult that he had some history with when Eve was very young. The John Wick movies have been pretty interesting, to say the least. It started off as a really small-budget action movie with Keanu Reeves about a guy who's basically getting revenge for the death of his dog. That's it. I never expected that that movie would evolve into such a massive franchise, and I have to admit, to this day, I still have not seen Chapter 2. I saw Chapter 3, didn't know what the hell was going on in that movie, but enjoyed it for the action scenes, and I enjoyed Chapter 4 quite a bit, but they don't compare to the first movie. But Chapter 4 killed off John Wick. So what do you do when your title character of your franchise is dead? Just make a spin-off. So we have Ballerina, and this is very much a movie set in the world of John Wick. It's got the same directorial style as the other movies, it's got the same feeling, the choreography in terms of the action is very similar to John Wick, and like the John Wick movies, I enjoyed this very much for the action scenes. The story is very basic. It's the same assassin plotline that we've seen several times before, with the same history about a dead parent and the main character seeking revenge for the death of that parent. And it mainly serves to get us from one action scene to another. And make no mistake, the action scenes in this movie are spectacular. They are very entertaining, well choreographed as ever, but none of it really blew my mind the same way the action scenes in Chapter 4 did, especially that one long take where it looks like you're looking down from the ceiling at the action. That sequence in Chapter 4 just made me go, whoa, that was amazing. But it's still pretty fun in this movie regardless. There are a lot of scenes in this movie that involve so many grenades. Grenades are just tossed around in this movie as casually as possible, and people are just blowing up left and right, whether they're flying from the debris or they literally blow up from grenades. And there's a big sequence involving flamethrowers, which is also pretty spectacular. The acting's decent. I was more excited for this movie because of Ana de Armas, because I think she's a terrific actress, and after her brief appearance in No Time to Die, which was the last Daniel Craig Bond movie, I thought, man, I kind of hate that they brought her into this series so late and that she was only in one sequence, because she deserves to be in more action scenes than just this. And we got an entire John Wick spin-off starring her, and she's really good. She handles the fight sequences as spectacularly as anyone can, and her skills can even rival John Wick's, as the movie demonstrates to us, because John Wick does appear in this movie. And it's not really a spoiler because he's on the poster, he's in the trailers, and this does take place between 3 and 4 before he dies, so it makes sense that he's here. But Keanu Reeves honestly has no reason to appear in this movie as John Wick. He's just there very briefly, and even when he is supposed to play a major role in the story, he doesn't really do that. Like, you could have cut John Wick out of this movie completely, and I don't think a lot of people would mind, because you still had Ian McShane in this movie, you still had the late Lance Reddick, you had the Continental, you had Anjelica Huston, you have all these elements and rules from the John Wick universe that there was no real reason to bring in John Wick himself. But honestly, that's a minor complaint at the end of the day, because it's still cool to see Keanu Reeves in this role, and John Wick's appearance doesn't distract from the movie at all. The weirdest thing about the movie, however, and this is saying a lot considering all the rules that this movie establishes, all the weird and crazy things that they do with firearms and weapons, is that this movie straight up steals a joke from the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie that Robert De Niro was in. There's a scene in this movie where Ana de Armas visits a character, and that character says, "Now let me be Frank," and he's wearing a name tag that says Frank. And I thought, Rocky and Bullwinkle made that joke 25 years ago. Why did a joke from a Rocky and Bullwinkle movie that no one remembers make it into a John Wick movie? That is so bizarre. But overall, I did enjoy Ballerina. It's not a groundbreaking movie in terms of its story and characters. It doesn't reinvent the action genre like John Wick originally did, but it's still really entertaining. I did find myself invested in Eve as a character, and Len Wiseman's direction is overall pretty solid. And I actually didn't know what Len Wiseman did prior to this movie until before recording this video. He's the creator of Underworld. I haven't seen the Underworld films for myself, but just watching the trailers, I kind of thought, this looks like a poor man's Resident Evil, but with vampires. I'm glad I didn't look up his filmography before seeing this movie, because I would have been like, oh, this is gonna suck. And Ballerina does not suck. It's worth seeing in your lifetime. It's a really fun action movie. It doesn't overstay its welcome because it's only 2 hours and 5 minutes, so not very long. And I can't wait to see more movies in this series, especially with this character. I think Ana de Armas really makes for a great action star, and I hope we see more of this character in the future. And there you go, that's my review for Ballerina. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I also want to give a special thank you to my subscribers and YouTube members right over here. You guys are the reason why this channel continues to grow every day, and if you want to help to financially support the channel, you could do so via YouTube memberships for as little as $1.99 a month. But until next time, I want to know what you guys think about Ballerina. Whatever your opinions are, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button to get notifications. If you want to find me elsewhere on the internet, you can find me on these social media platforms and my theme park and travel channel right here on YouTube. I'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, have a good day and take care of yourselves.